What's up, level uppers? This is Andrew here, along with Gregory Verga,
Hello, Drew, and the rest of y'all.
with a very special reaction time because we're talking about The Walking Dead Season 2.
Wait, the what?
The Walking Dead Season 2. What's that on your head, man?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know how this got here. That's so weird.
I've
How that
never
would
seen
happen.
Um,
It's my Clementine's hat.
yeah, Clem. Oh, man. I'm gonna
Oh,
miss her. I'm so sad that she died at the end.
whoa, what? How did your game
Did you
end,
not get
sir?
the ending?
That did not happen. Oh, wait. First of all, spoilers for Season 2 and Season 1 of The Walking Dead if you haven't played Telltale's games. I know some people out there still haven't. Dean just picked them up, so.
And just in case you guys didn't know, that was not the truth. Clementine did not die at the end.
You should have warned us because I just started crying a little bit. I didn't know. Is that a possible ending? Do we know?
No, it is not. Oh, well,
Okay, good.
I hope not. That would be
I-
crazy.
Yeah. You pick up as the baby.
But we're going to be discussing the season in a whole, but especially we're going to be discussing episode 5, which I just finished. When was it? I guess it was
Friday, right?
last Friday I finished it off. And I made decisions that I think a lot of people were surprised at, but we'll get to that in a little
Yeah.
while. Let's talk about why I think that season 1 was better.
Oh, here
'Cause
we
I
go.
think you don't agree with that.
I don't at all.
Now,
I like them both equally. I just want to point that out to everybody. I don't think season 1 was like an atrocity at all. I just preferred season 2.
Now, I feel like just overall the characters are better in season 1. We did get Kenny back, which was great. Again, Kenny's a great character. But what? Do you not agree?
I feel like the characters in season 1 were so well one-dimensional. I feel like just the problems that you face in season 2 is some of the actual issues that would have happened. In season 1, I feel like it's all just, let's side with this clique. Like the whole Kenny and Lily feud that built up.
Yeah.
Like it was like, I don't know, it was just like, who's more popular? That was what I feel like was the main concerns of season
But this season, it's like anytime you started to feel like you were getting a connection with a character, they killed them off in like 5 minutes.
That's why it was so good, because
No, but
every time
they
you got
didn't
attached,
give
they
you time
took
to
away.
actually. They didn't give you time to actually care. It's like I'm starting to like this person. Nope, never mind. Like
Wait, give me an example. Give me an example.
like the guy that you shot his best friend. What was his name?
Mike?
Walter. Walter.
Oh, but Mike's the guy you shoot. His like life partner, the gay guy, right?
Oh, yeah, I think you kind of
Yeah.
get that vibe. I'm not.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think it was ever said for sure. But yeah, like that guy. It's like, whoa, what just happened?
My lights have turned off.
What? This got
Can
really
you still
scary
see
all of a
me? Is this terrifying? The Walking Dead is behind me.
Yes. Let's just go with this for the next 5
I'm okay with this. Everyone told me they wanted zombies in the background for the green screen.
But that
So
was such a
there you
good
go.
part. That was a good part in the season where you feel like that guy, you're not sure what to do. He's like, do I lie to this guy because you just killed his best friend? And then when
Yeah.
you tell him the truth, the guy, he's hurt and he's sad, but he doesn't take it out on you. He doesn't try and kill you or anything like this. So I'm like, I like this guy. This guy's cool. And then what
Yeah.
happens? Freaking, what's his name? The villain of the season comes by and kills him out of nowhere.
Yeah. I see, like, for me, I didn't really even want to get attached to him. I feel like his whole story was upfront and personal. I like that they kind of slimmed down the pickings and they focused on Sarah, Carlos's daughter, and kind of gave you that parallel of another little girl living in the world.
Yeah.
They gave you Kenny back, which I thought was perfect. I think that out of all the characters in season 1, I feel like he was the most radical and one that could change stuff up. So seeing his relationship with him and then putting you in those circumstances to where, like, when you have to sit with him or Luke at the table when you're eating dinner at the cabin and stuff like that, like those situations where you have to pick between season 1 and season 2. All of those times I always pick the season 2 cast over.
Really?
Did you not?
In which I'm trying to think of the situation here. I think
So like you walk over and Kenny waves over to you and Luke waves over to you, but then you have to pick one to sit with.
Yeah, and I think I went over to the new team because
Yeah, you went to
I
Luke.
didn't feel like I was going to be staying there, and I didn't want to hurt my new team.
That's
And
what I'm saying.
I actually didn't think that Kenny would stay in the season. I thought he was going to be just in that episode, and then we were going to leave him, or he was going to die or something. So I was actually surprised that Kenny was another big character for the entire season.
Well, wait, let's get to that. How did your game end? Because I didn't watch your
Oh,
Let's
I'm not
Play.
ready to talk about that yet.
Wait, why? Come on, you have to tell me. I've been wanting to know for a
Let's
week.
just continue where we're at. I just want to say that I feel like the foundation wasn't there. The foundation of season 1 is Lee and Clementine, and that's such a special thing, and it's the driving force of the entire season. You do not have that at any point this season. There's no end goal. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to see. It just feels like you feel like you're in the second. You're in a trilogy and you're in the second movie and you know it's going nowhere because there's something coming after it. But in the first season, there was always like Clementine's trying to find her parents. And then especially when Lee gets bit at the end, you're like, you know what's coming. But this season, it's just like not there was no like gravity to anything
And
you
that,
were doing.
but that's what I feel like makes it better. It's kind of like on the vein of the show now, where in season one, from the beginning of the thing, you're like, she's gonna see her parents. You can totally predict where that story was going.
Yeah,
And in season two, you're like, what's gonna happen? Like when Bonnie came up, I played her in four. Did you play the 400 Days
I
DLC?
didn't,
You didn't, right?
but I
So
hate it.
yeah, obviously, I'm assuming that's how your game ended then. But Bonnie and I, like, I bonded with her over 400 Days, especially because you end up as in 400 Days. Just to, can I spoil this for you? Do you mind if I
Yeah,
spoil
sure, go
this?
ahead.
Okay, so you are with this guy, and you come into 400 Days is basically just a whole bunch of vignettes of all these people. So you play with this guy, and you were like a drug addict at some point. You, him, and his wife are a group together, and the wife ends up stealing a package from this group. You go through all these cornfields. You end up killing the wife, and then you can either choose to lie to the guy about killing her, or you can say that like you're in love with him and that you two have to continue on. But none of that is explained when she shows up in season two.
Wow.
So yeah, so when she pops up in season two, I'm like, is she on my side? Is she not? She turns out not to be. And then as things go on, why did you hate Bonnie? Tell me how it ended?
This goes into why again season 2 bothered me a little bit. Is again there weren't characters that I really liked ever
Okay.
in this season except Luke. And what do they do? What do they do? They piss me off with his. If he died, okay, he dies. But the way they killed him was so frustrating because he didn't have to die.
Okay, so let me ask you then. Hold on. So what did you do when he
Okay,
falls into the
he
ice?
tells you not to come. So I'm going to listen to the guy that is in danger. He knows his situation better than anybody.
That's where
So
you messed up.
I was protecting him so that he could figure out what's going on. And then if he felt like he still needed my help, then I can go out there and help him. But what happens if I don't go out there? Fucking Bonnie goes out herself. What the fuck are you doing, Bonnie? But
Can I tell
I'm
you?
not
Wait,
going
but
out there because he told me not to. That doesn't mean you go out there. That means you stay the fuck put because
oh
you're
my god.
70 pounds heavier than me. Like,
See, like none of that happened in my game.
that
I chose.
pissed me off to no end because there was a reason I chose what I chose, and she just completely destroyed it. I know Luke
Yeah.
dies no matter what. I
Yeah.
understand that. But
Yeah.
Bonnie didn't die for me in that scene. She continues on.
Yeah, Bonnie didn't die for me in that scene
Oh,
either,
I
but
thought Bonnie might die in the other version.
I walked over to the ice to go try to save Luke, and when I walk over, the ice cracks. So no matter what, the ice is cracking. My weight sets it off, and when we both go underwater, I'm looking for him, and I'm trying to get like my bearings and everything because now I'm in the ice cold water. A zombie grabs my foot. So now I'm panicking. You're having to tap X or whatever. Luke ends up taking the zombie and like hitting him off of you, but then the zombie grabs onto his foot, and you watch him drown as the zombie drags him down to the bottom of the ocean.
Aww.
It was the saddest thing that's ever happened to me. I was like, ugh, and you can't do anything.
Like in mine, Bonnie goes down with him.
But Bonnie comes back up, right?
That's what's so freaking annoying about it. Is that
Yeah.
the one person that you want to survive is the one that dies, and Bonnie somehow
Yeah.
like she just comes out of nowhere. She's like breaks through the ice and like pops out. It's like
She's the
what?
Hulk.
Like
Yeah.
she's superpowered, but Luke has to die, and for her fault.
Well, you would assume then that's the same thing that happened. The zombie went after her, and he sacrificed himself.
And that's the other part
But
of
the
it.
thing is,
Freaking Arvo, man. Like, I hate this guy the entire episode, and every time they're like, everybody's trying to prove, like, maybe he has a sick sister, he has stuff like this. And I even, like, helped him out. Like, I
didn't do
rob
that
him.
either. I watched you do that. I robbed him.
I didn't rob him, but still, Arvo is the biggest prick in the world. Like, I can't stand that guy. So there's so many dislikable characters this season,
Yeah.
and the only few that you do like die either very quickly or die in a very frustrating way.
Well, did you not love Jane?
Well, that's the thing is I was up and down with Jane, and okay, we're getting to the end now. I'll talk about it.
You have to tell me.
We were up and down with Jane the entire season. It's like, do we trust this person? She abandoned her sister, all this kind of stuff. But she seems like a pretty level-headed person, like that can survive the apocalypse, and somebody that would probably be good to stick around with, that would be protective, and you would be safe with. But then the end of the season's coming around, and you can see where it's going, that you're going to have to choose between Kenny and Jane. Like, they're constantly fighting. And that was what's so frustrating for me, is just like, I'm the 11-year-old, and you two are just like terrible people.
They're
like,
children,
just
They're
foolish children that like are cursing at each other, like acting like idiots. Like, and it was so annoying watching the two of them going back and forth. So I saw it coming. I knew I was going to have to choose. And I knew when the baby was missing, like I knew Jane hid it. Like I knew immediately, like the baby is still alive and she's manipulating me right now.
I knew that
But
too.
even knowing that she was manipulating me, I decided to kill Kenny. And the reason I
Okay.
decided to kill Kenny is because he didn't want to live in this world anymore. Like let's be honest. Like he's lost so many things, and now he thought he lost a baby. It's like this guy is
Yeah.
supposed to let him be with his wife and kid in heaven or whatever. Like,
Mm.
and no matter what, eventually he would have cracked. He
Yeah.
had already cracked so many times. Like
Mhm.
Jane was right in that regard. This guy just is a loose cannon at this point. Like
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
way we can trust him anymore. Even though I'm as Clementine had a nice relationship with him.
Yeah.
But following that, of course, Jane wants your forgiveness, and I was like, "Fuck you, bitch! No way am I trusting you now." Like it pissed me off to no end.
You left Jane?
I am alone. I am team alone.
Wait,
Because
so how
I
does
am
your game
better off
end?
without them. Both of them were foolish, manipulative assholes. More so, Jane is the manipulative one. Kenny's just an asshole. But like, I could survive without either of them better than if I had them. She lied to me. She manipulated me. The one thing I didn't want her to do, like I didn't know if I could trust her, and she showed me that I can't trust her. So I was like, "Fuck you, Jane. I'm out of here."
Oh my Drew. So how does your game end? What happens? You have it's just
I'm
you and the
all
baby?
alone with the baby, with AJ walking by myself.
Where are you just walking through the
Slather
snowstorm?
myself in zombie guts. I put it over the baby, and I'm on my way.
That's hell.
Yeah.
My game ends so much better.
And only 22% of people did the same thing I did. But
Yeah,
Greg
did
Miller
everyone
did what I
yell?
did because I watched Greg Miller's marathon, and he did the same exact thing I did. So
Yeah, well, you and Greg Miller are in the wrong. Me and Jane go back to the campsite, and me, Jane, and the baby. There's these two strangers that come up to the campsite where I keep forgetting the like militarist, the villain. What's his name? I have no idea.
I keep forgetting as well. Carver.
Carver, there you go. So we go back to that campsite. These two strangers walk up. They have a kid with them, and they're like, "Oh, well, we're stranded." And you can either choose to let them come into the compound or not. And I chose to let them come in. So at the end of my season, it's me, Jane, the baby, the two strangers that hug us and love us, and then this little boy that's about Clementine's age. And that's how my game ends.
That is drastically different than mine.
That's what I'm saying. And I know that there's multiple endings in this, and I researched the Kenny ending, if you let Kenny live, and you and him end up going to the safe zone where like Krista was supposed to be, and you can either go into the safe zone without Kenny because they aren't letting adults in because they don't have enough supplies, or you can take a bag of supplies from them, and then you, Kenny, and the baby go off on your own.
That was the best thing about the season is that it had such branching differences at the end because up until that point, the game is so manipulative in the choices that it presents to you because it doesn't matter. Luke dies no matter what. This happens no matter what. There's really no choice that matters until that final one. So I'm glad at least that at the end you have a drastically different ending. I'm just going to be really pissed that if at the beginning of season 3, like your entire team dies and you're alone or something like that really quickly to make everybody come to the same place.
Well, that's how I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do with season 3. They've already confirmed that Clementine's going to be in season 3, that there is a season 3 happening. They did that in an interview with Game Informer, but now does everybody have a completely different season 3? Or like you said, does episode 1 end with the new group you're with or you being by yourself finding these new people that everybody's met up with now? I hope they don't cop out and do that.
In my situation, I have to imagine there's going to be a big passage of time. Like I would think it would be much better if it passes 5 years or something like that, and the baby is like 5 or 6 years old, this little boy that you have to protect. And we talked about this very briefly, that you now have this role reversal where Clementine is the new Lee, and you're taking care of this child and trying to bring him up in this world, and it would be like a really cool, like coming full circle moment. And I think that would be smart of them.
I just don't get how you and the baby are going to live, because we get back to the compound and I have years worth of baby formula.
Because everybody else sucks and Clementine's awesome and I don't need
Clementine's 11 and can't breastfeed, Drew. You're going to kill the child.
You killed him. Formula then. I trust Clementine.
I always trust Clementine. Hi, the hat, please. But I'm saying, oh my God, I can't believe you left Jane behind. What does Jane do? How does she react?
She's sad. I mean, but I just walk away and she kind of says, no, Clementine, or whatever, as I'm walking away, and I just keep walking. I'm like, see you later. Bye.
See, like at the end of season 1 of The Walking Dead, that was the second game that's ever made me cry, like full on sob. And when I chose at the end of that to kill Lee, and when I shoot Lee, I was bawling like a baby. He's like, ugh, and all that. I just couldn't deal with that stress. At the end of this, I only teared up. I have to say that I didn't sob as much, but still to me, this ending and this season I thought was overall just 10 times better. The way the cliffhangers ended from episode to episode, the variety of characters that you got to see, even though they took most of them away from you, I feel like the relationship that they built up with Jane at the end was worth it. Well, but then you
in my situation, like, I didn't even even well up whatsoever. Like I shot Kenny and I almost didn't even care in that moment. Like, and then with Jane, I was just like, see ya. I don't care about you either. Like, I didn't like the characters this season,
Yeah.
so I was just like, see you later, guys. I'm on
Now,
my
can
way
we do?
out.
I want to
This
give you a
sucks.
quick fire of where my head's at. Do you
Okay.
think Krista's alive?
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
You think we see her in season 3?
Yes.
Okay. Bonnie and the black guy, I'm forgetting his name, and Arva. Do we run into them?
I hope so that I can kill them.
Oh, okay. That took a turn.
I'm not,
See,
I'm not, no, maybe not that far, but I do hope I come back in contact with them so I can get my word in or get revenge in some way, shape, or form. Maybe steal their supplies or something.
I have another question for you. What happens? Do you get the opportunity to talk to Bonnie after Luke dies?
Yes, and oh
And
my God, was I pissed off at her. I just
what
wanted
does
to
she
slap
what
her.
does she say to you?
She blamed it on me.
Oh,
She's
she
like, you
did.
could have saved her, or saved him. You could have saved him. You know you could have. Because you're this pretty little girl or whatever. Blah blah blah. I'm like, shut your mouth right
That's
now.
why you hate Bonnie. See, at the end of mine, I walk over to her and she's like, "Kid, you want a cigarette?" And she offers Clementine a cigarette. You can either choose to smoke or not smoke. I chose not to. And then she's talking to you and she's like, "At least you did everything you could. Like, you're such a good person." And then when they go to steal the truck and they have all the supplies, Bonnie runs over to you and tries to help you out. Before.
Really, in mine.
So
No,
I don't.
let's get
So
out of
like,
here.
I don't mind Bonnie. I just think she picked the wrong group to leave with. But Kenny and Jane were gonna kill her, so she had to leave with them
Oh
in my
no,
game.
in my game, Bonnie is the worst person in the world.
Apparently. Well, you chose wrongness. Always.
No, I didn't. I chose the rights.
You did not, sir.
I do not regret one decision I made.
For sure.
All right. Well, that's it for me. I have to say that I still like the season though. Like, don't get me wrong. I would give it like an 8 maybe. It's like
What'd you give season 1?
if season 1 is a 10, this season's an 8 in my
Okay. Okay.
that I don't think season 1's a 10 either. Both seasons have too many like glitches and little things
Oh, yeah.
like that, and just it's so based around the story and nothing else. And that's the other part of this season. The first 3 episodes were like 75% not in your control.
Yeah.
It was just like ridiculous.
Well, you had to establish yourself. You're a kid.
But still, like there was never any point in season 1 where it took away control from you for so long.
Yeah.
It really took away control from you for a lot of the first 3 episodes.
I just really like season 2 because of the different perspective and your interactions with people. And then towards the end, people come to rely on you more than they do the other humans in the group. And I really like that parallel that Clementine becomes like a full-fledged adult. Even so much to, in your game, leave behind Jane.
Yeah.
You son of
I
a
think what's
bitch.
really telling is that the best part in this entire season is when you have a flashback to you and Lee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't like that.
That's the best part in the whole season.
No, I didn't like that part at all. Because they were coming off of a huge success with season 1, and to bring him back just for that one, it was like you kind of undid everything you made Clementine up to be. Then you made her the defenseless little girl again in Lee's arms and made everybody miss Lee. Exactly what happened with you.
It was a nice contrast moment where you get to, first of all, you get to see Lee again. You get to see how far the Clementine has come, and you also get to make a few decisions from season 1 that you weren't able to make because you were in Clementine in season 1. So you're able to make a few vocal choices. And I like, for instance, when Lee asked, "What can I do?" and I said, "Never leave me," because I know he leaves you. So I'm like, I just wanted to make it more sad.
You chose the most depressing path. Did you tear up at the end? Yeah, no.
At the end of season 2?
Yeah.
Oh, not at all. No.
I feel like you were just so angry coming off of this season.
No,
That's probably why you didn't like it as much as I did.
I was just angry at so many characters, and
Yeah.
I was just like, I can't stand both of you people right now. Jane and Kenny
Yeah.
are pissing me off. I just want to get out of here.
So what
was
are your hopes? Our hopes, I guess, are both the same then. We want to flash forward. The kid is now kind of like under your wing, and it becomes like the season 1 where you're Lee and you have the kid. Do you think you still control Clementine?
Yeah, I think you still control Clementine probably.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's the most likely thing. I mean, it's not. They would have to really age up the boy if you're going to control the boy, AJ.
Yeah.
So that's probably
But
not.
that's what I was thinking though. I was thinking he becomes like 11 and she becomes 22 or so.
It's possible.
Yeah, I would see that scenario more than the 5 or 6 year old. When do you meet Clementine? She's like 8, right? 8 or 9.
I think it might have been even younger than that actually, but I can't be sure.
Yeah, but even if they did that, I just feel like 5 is way too young.
Yeah, I agree. I think 5 is too young as well.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. And then it's different to see this situation too because Clementine was a kid that still had school and learned her ABCs and stuff like that. So to see this kid grow up in this world without an education even or anything, I'm excited to see that parallel.
He's probably gonna have like a mouth on him. He's gonna be cursing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, the whole time.
Smoking and drinking.
Well,
depending on what you choose.
He's in AA for season 3. It's Walking Dead recap.
Drink and smoke in this season, then the baby's gonna turn out to be a mess.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
I'm dark this.
Yeah, these couple past reaction times, The Walking Dead turned you sour.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, that's it. Let's wrap this up. So, in conclusion, I still like the season. I just didn't like it as much as season 1. I'm still very much looking forward to season 3.
Yeah, I am in the same boat except flip-flop. I am season 2 avid follower. Season 1 made me cry, but season 2 it did something to me. I gotta love me some Jane.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm with you there, guys. Thanks for watching this reaction time. It's one of the special ones that we're going to be doing for games here and there. We might be doing things like this for the Order 1886, which is coming out very soon. That'll be a lot of fun. If you guys like this, leave some comments below. Also feedback if you want. And if you want to see more reaction times in the future, make sure to support the network on Patreon at patreon.com/TheLevelUpNetwork. Right there at the bottom of the screen. Click the link as Greg is showing it. And
I got blurry. My quality in this video was hell. My apologies.
So out of focus right now. But guys, go to patreon.com/TheLevelUpNetwork. You can donate to our show, and that's the best way you can possibly do it. And also, you can get some rewards. Oh my god.
You can get some rewards. I love rewards. Rewards my favorite.
Roads.
Well, this is.
We're off the rails now.
I hated that.
Guys, thanks for watching. Greg, thanks for joining me.
Of course, thanks for having me. Clementine for life. #.
And as always, level up.
Level up.
See you guys.
Boy.